Today we're in Dauphin, Manitoba. I'm going to be ice fishing for walleyes on Lake Dauphin with a great bunch of guys from the area. These guys realize what a good fishery they have, and they're working real hard to make it even better. As you can see, we got a pretty early start out here. Hi, I'm Bob Kirkpatrick. With a bunch of friends of mine, we're out on Lake Dauphin. We're fishing quite a unique situation here. We're going to be fishing walleye in 4 feet of water through the ice. Now, the boys from Dauphin say that they've got some special techniques that work really well out here in this shallow lake. So stay with us and we'll see if some of their techniques work.
Good fish. Good Lake Dauphin walleye. You'll see we're trying to get them back in the water real quick in this kind of weather. The main thing is get your hands over their eyes so you don't freeze their eyes, so you don't blind them, and get them back in the water. They're big fish. They're good spawners. Good fish, Oliver. That's about a 4-pounder. Good Lake Dauphin walleye. It's about average for our big ones. We have got bigger ones, but that's a good big fish. Let them go, let them go. Oh, fish on! Fish on! Oh, not a bad one. Pound and a half, maybe. Very good, Mark. Good. Nice fish. Not bad. We should try to get back in before tie balls freezes. Oh, he was hooked. Yeah, rattling jig head. Oh, it's a 20-inch fish. Yeah, pretty well average around here. Yeah, decent fish. Hey, they're scrappy in this shallow water, aren't they, Bill? Oh, yeah, I tell you, it's more fun out here. This is a great lake to fish on. It's another nice Lake Dauphin walleye, a good eating size. Like I say, that good, strong year class of fish showing up again. It's just so much fun. We got a great bunch of people here. Oh, yeah. You know, there's probably 60 or 70 shacks here. You're telling me that it wasn't very many years ago nobody ice fished out here. Well, what happened is the lake really got overrun with pike, and the DNR guys took a fairly radical step, and a lot of people, I guess it was controversial, they netted out a lot of the pike, and they netted them out in the spawning streams and the spawning areas in the spring, and this happened about 6-7 years ago, and they did it for 2 years. They reduced the pike population by quite a bit, and it's really helped our walleye. And we run some rearing ponds, and they're doing some riffle structure work with the Intermountain Group, but I think the pike eradication has helped us a lot, and we have good quality pike. Like you can catch a 20-pound pike here on this lake. But the walleye, you can see now, you know, you look at the shacks around here. Right now, we've only got 60 or 70 shacks set up here. It's early in the season. By the end of the season, we'll have 300 shacks at this location. Well, I know your group has helped promote too, because I know most of the guys from Dauphin that fish all the walleye tournaments. A great bunch of guys, and they're as serious of anglers as I've ever seen anywhere. Until we get ice fishing. Well, still, I can tell that what you've done out here is promoted ice fishing. I know there's always people crowding around. They're watching what you guys are doing, and I know you spend a lot of time out here. Well, we want to push the idea that it's a good family entertainment. It's lots of fun. I mean, you can not only just catch a few walleye to eat, it's just a good sport. It's fun to get out here. The kids can run around if they're bored. They don't necessarily have to fish. they can have some fun. If you got a shack, you got a heater, or even you just got a frying pan and a fire, you can cook up some sausage. It doesn't have to be fish. You can cook a meal, have a little hockey game, catch some fish. I mean, it's great.
Winters are way too long to sit at home and just watch the tube all winter.
No, I mean, you got to watch fishing shows, but I mean, you know, it's just a lot of fun, and I don't think that people realize that the ice fishing part of it is really cheap. We get into the really pricey part of it in the summer, as you well know. I mean, the fishing that we do, but this fishing is cheap. You need a small rod and a summer reel, and go out and watch the guys. If you see guys out that are catching fish, watch what they're doing. It's nothing. There's no big secrets to it.
Now this lake, it's a unique situation since it's so shallow. Is it this shallow all over the lake?
You can go for 22 miles and it's 6 feet deep. We've had guys come up here and run around with their depth finders and they think they're broke, and that's a problem. We've got 6 major streams and rivers that come into this lake, and only one outlet. So the level has to be maintained at a fairly low level in case of a flood, because we have the mountains around us here. The water comes quickly, and the outlet can only take an inch off of this lake a month. So we can't have the lake level any higher, but it's a very fertile lake.
It's surprising that there's that many walleye in here, because walleye are usually noted as being a deeper water species, and they don't have anywhere cold to go. In fact, it's surprising that the lake doesn't winter kill sometimes.
It's amazing. I think because of all of the rivers that come in here is a strong reason why we don't get winter kills. It's also a good reason why we get good ice fishing, because when the snow cover gets heavy on the lake, the water coming in the streams has got a lot of oxygen in it. It's bringing a lot of minnows to the streams, and the walleye are coming in after it. So we've got some very localized areas for fishing in the wintertime, and it makes it great. It's easy for everybody to get on them.
Well, the bite is on right now,
and it
can end pretty quick, so let's get right back at it.
Let's get at it.
All right.
Okay, I think I got one here, guys.
Have you got one going? All right.
Yes.
Good fish. You finally hooked one.
Looks like a good one, Mark. So I suppose if you lose it, you're going to blame it on me now. That is a nice fish. Turned around. This water is only 4 feet deep, but fishing about 18 inches of ice, this is a big fish. Now you saw him, he turned around, I think he's wrapped up a little bit. Here he comes. Whoa! Ooh, that's cold. Whew.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great fish. So this is one of the bigger fish in the lake. Like, is this is classified as one of the larger ones?
Larger size, yeah.
Boy, that's a nice fish. Gonna get him back in here. There he is. Oh, goodness. Better fish than I thought. There's a nice decent walleye. It's quite crisp and cool out here this morning. It's about 17 below. I've got to get these fish back in the water really quick. That's a real nice walleye for Lake Dauphin. That one there is probably 3.5 pounds. Let him back down the hole. Catch him again when he gets a little bigger. But it's been great action so far. That's my 5th walleye in about 2 hours. And as I mentioned, we're catching about 16 inches of ice, and it's about 4 feet of water underneath there. So it's just a quick hook set, and turn the reel once or twice and lift the line out, and you've got a nice fish. Got one here. Larry?
Yeah. That's a good one, boy.
Not bad. That's pretty average sized fish for here, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, what year class are those?
Oh, this would be 3-year-olds. Got to get him back here. It's a pretty cold day today, so got to let him go. There he goes. Good one.
I had Larry Boziak with me. Larry owns the Rock Bottom Fishing Hole in Dauphin, and he's helped us out a lot getting this show on the road, and talked to me several times in the last few summers talking to come out here and do an ice fishing show, and just had to take advantage of that. But the fish that we let go are the perfect eating size fish, and we kept a few of them, and we're going to get Bill to show us how to clean them up. He's got a few new methods to use using an electric knife, one you can take with you and just plug it in the cigarette lighter and hook it up to a battery, so you're not stuck with being at power, and the electric knife makes a great job of these fish.
Especially for the fresh ones, you get them, the weather like today, it's cold out here, they freeze so quick, and you got to take them home and thaw them out and then throw at them.
Well, it's a lot nicer to have the job all done before you leave the lake, and that's a slick way of doing it, and we'll let Bill show us how he does it.
Here we are, filleting fish. This is about the largest fish that we would take out of this lake for eating. It's about an 18-inch fish, 18.5 inches. Weighs about probably 1.75 pounds. Perfect eating size fish. Electric knife, if you've never used one, slickest way there is to clean fish. I'll tell you, slab them, take one of these 12-volt ones, take it out on the ice with you, slab your fish right out on the ice. Don't have to worry about taking all the mess home and having your wife mad at you because you're trying to do this on the kitchen table in the wintertime. You end up with a nice fillet, just the right size to eat. You got to put those big ones back, folks. I mean, we got to have fish like this where we can all eat later on. So we really want to see the big ones go back into the lake. The 22 inches, the 24 inches, they're no good to eat, and those fish will spawn this year. They're in their prime. They'll hold 150 to 220,000 eggs. If you kill that fish, you've effectively killed 200,000 walleye fry. Now, there's a small percentage of those live, we know, but if they aren't in the lake, there's no chance at all for them to survive. If they're there, there's a chance of them. So we want those big fish to go back, especially in a lake like this where we've got a real strong year class that's really showing up right now this year. And they spawned in 1990. We're hoping for a good spawn in 1994, 1995, so that we get a better overall average of sizes in here. But right now, it's either big or it's small on this lake. So the big ones we'd like to see go back.
That's quite the ice auger. I don't think everyone is going to own one of these, but that's quite a machine.
It's a lot easier than the hand bomber, isn't it?
It sure is.
Years ago, this one, we had a gentleman in town here, Walter Wilgan. He's the guy that put this down on paper and built it to what you see here today. We can pop a lot of holes. As you know, this morning we had to move around to find the fish, and I don't know how many holes we drilled, a couple hundred anyways, to get onto the school, and we finally got onto them, and here we are.
Well, this isn't very practical for the average fisherman. Why do you have such an elaborate machine for
Well,
digging holes?
this elaborate machine, we use it up in the ice fishing contest in Portage on Lake Manitoba. You probably heard about it. There's we have to drill 2,000 to 3,000 holes, and if we have to do it by hand with the jiffies, the boys are pretty tired. So with machinery like this, we can pop holes, 2,000 to 3,000 holes in 2 to 3, 4 hours.
So anybody can come and have fun?
Anybody can come and have fun of that one, that's right.
What time of the year do you have this?
Well, that's in March. That's in mid-March. And if the people out there want to get information, all they have to do is call Rock Bottom Fishing Hole in Dauphin. We're in the book. We'll give them all the information they need there.
Oh, boys! Good one. Nice fish. Oh, big eye. Big eye. Whoa. Ooh, that's cold. Wow. All right. Great fish. Oh, now I know what you're using.
Yeah. I was trying to hide that from you, Bob.
I'm going to get this guy back. That's a beautiful fish, isn't it?
Nice one. We're back into him. It's been a while, eh?
Well, we've moved a long ways. Like where we started out was maybe 400 yards down the lake, and we had some fish going first thing this morning, and they moved out of there. Now, how do you guys go about, like, on a lake like this, it's featureless, there's no rock piles, it's all the same depth. How do you find the fish? How do you...
Well, we figure they're just scattered all over the place. So once they slow down in one area, we'll just move out, try to get into them again.
Drill lots of holes?
Lots of holes, lots of moving. We just drill a hole every 30 yards or so, and eventually you'll get into them again and start catching them again. Then once they slow down, we take off and start drilling again. Keep moving all the time.
Well, I know with a big group like this, there's probably 15 or 16 of us out here, and it makes it pretty handy, especially with Larry's machine for digging holes.
Right.
Dig a lot of holes and start moving around, and as soon as 1 or 2 people catch a few fish, kind of all move into that area. So you think these fish are schooled up?
I think so. I think once you get on them again, like if you keep moving, the fish are there. If you get into them, you start hammering them again.
So
I don't think they act, like I think we fished out that one spot. So we moved over here, it's a little bit quieter now, and now we're starting to pick them up again.
Well, I know all the activity in 4 feet of water has got to spook the fish after a while, but
yeah,
just move around and locate them, and we'll fish here for a while, and once they quit, just keep moving again.
Yeah, we're going to move again if they quit again. I mean, we have no structure here at all. All you can do is,
There's nothing, is there?
there's nothing. You just keep moving and keep looking, and eventually you'll get into another school.
Well, you've been pretty successful out here over the years.
Been
And,
good, yeah. Before we used to drill one hole and sit in there all day and basically catch 2 or 3 fish and that'd be about it. But now we're starting to learn to move around and pull the fish around, getting onto them.
well, that's good. Well, I'm going to get back at it.
Yeah, get back
see if I can get one like that.
Get another minnow. Where's the minnows, boys?
Okay.
Taking some
Taking a little drag on us, but I don't know whether we got the drag set right here or not, but you're going to help me, Elmer?
I'll help you as soon
as
as
it comes up.
Nice one. Oh,
Big fish. Big fish. Big fish. Look at this, guys. Big fish.
I'll keep his eyes covered.
I don't think we'll have to worry. Just using a little whistler jig on this one and an orange one. What happened, Elmer had about 3 bites in here, and he was using a different color than I was.
That's a beauty.
And I was having bites in that hole, so we switched. Little system we thought we'd try to switch and went to a different thing. That's a good fish, probably maybe, what, 7 and a half?
Yeah, 6.5 pound. Beautiful fish.
Good.
Very nice.
Hey, keep saying good fish, but boy, I mean, what can you say when you're catching walleyes through the ice like that? I mean, that's really nice. Just a simple little trick. If you're getting bite, can't land them, and the next guy's doing the same, got different hooks on, switch.
There he goes. Good fish, Billy.
Thank you. Way to go. Thanks, Doc.
You bet.
We'll catch some more.
That was my fish, by the way.
That was his fish.
In fact, that was the biggest fish of the day, by the way, guys. That's the biggest fish of the day. I love it.
That means I'm by supper or something, I'm sure.
Yes, it
Anyhow,
does.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, Bill.
Got one going here, Larry. Oh, missed him. I think he got my minnow, yeah.
Well, Bob, we will just get another minnow for you. As we talked about this morning, there's this is the way we keep these minnows going so they don't freeze. A lot of the guys bring them out in bags or whatever. A good idea is a cooler. The water doesn't freeze. Another thing what lots of the guys do is stick their hands in the cold water. HT has this floating dip net. It's great, especially for the guys with arthritis. Don't stick your hand in there. There we go. Here's another minnow.
Right, oh, we've got some nice big ones in there.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there. What we've been doing too is tail hooking them, which gives us a little more action in the water. The walleye like that a little bit better. There's also another method of through the head or right by the dorsal fin, but this seems to work the best in this area.
Now, because we're using barbless hooks, you're telling me you just use a little piece of rubber tail, or
Yeah.
we're using Berkeley power bait and just stick it on the back so the minnow stays
That's
off?
right, so it stays on a little longer, plus gives you a little bit more scent in the water too.
Now, earlier on, we're at Larry's shop, and he was telling me a little bit about his commercial minnow bait operation.
We always had a problem getting some live minnows in the shop here, so what we did is apply to the government for a commercial bait permit, which they give us an area where we can catch these minnows. And now we have a good supply for the shop, and we have extra supply we usually sell to some of the retailers in the province.
Now, there's only certain types of minnows that you're allowed to use?
Yes, there is. There's certain types of minnows that you're allowed to use. The most common minnow that we go after is a fathead chub or a dace. The reason for that is lots of people, when you're on the ice, you know yourself, it's pretty cold out there, and they leave the minnows outside and they happen to freeze. These minnows can take a lot of abuse, hot and cold. So this is why we basically key in on these two species.
Well, you know, being from Saskatchewan, I've had very little opportunity to fish with live minnows. Occasionally I get down the States or into Manitoba, and most of the time it's during a part of the season where live minnows aren't the proper bait to use. So you want to show me how you're going to hook these things up, and I know you're tail hooking them. That makes a difference. So you want to kind of explain that to me and show me what you're doing?
Sure, I'll show you all 3 ways of hooking these up. There, years ago, the guys used to hook them through the head, and this is placing the hook right through the head and putting it on the bottom of the lake, but it didn't work so well because lots of the times they stuck the hook in the wrong place and would kill the minnow. Then we developed the dorsal fin, hooking it just behind the dorsal fin here, and that also didn't work so well because if you hit the spine, the minnow died. So what happens now is we've gone to a tail hook, which is the best hook that there is. The minnow really struggles along. It's giving off a vibration. In our lake, the water clarity is very low, and this vibration causes the walleye to come in and pick up the minnows.
Now, I know in Manitoba, all hooks have to be barbless. Does this create a problem with holding the minnows onto the hook?
Yes, it does. Lots of the minnows will struggle off the hook, and away it goes, and so the guys lose a lot of bait. What we've been doing is using a tail, a rubber tail. Today we're going to use the Berkeley power bait because it's giving a little bit more scent in the water, and this creates the walleye to hit the bait a little bit better.
You're just using a little wee piece of this then?
Yeah, just cut off a wee little piece, stick it on the end. That way if a walleye hits it and takes your minnow and that little piece, you can always cut up 5 or 6 more pieces off that one tail.
Oh, there's one. Feels like a pretty good one.
Well, Gary.
Nice try.
Good fish.
That's a release one, boy.
You got a whistler jig on there.
Oh, yeah, but see, eh?
What we use it for bait, Gary?
Live minnow.
That's a nice through the ice, huh?
Nice, look at that. Nice tie.
Back down in there. Looks like a big pike took a gouge at him here earlier in the day.
It does. And the pike
There she
caught
goes.
today, had there?
Pardon?
No pike caught today.
Not yet.
Oh,
Sure been hitting the walleyes good.
for sure.
Yeah!
All right.
Feels like a good one.
All right, guys, here, sure let you know when you get one, and let everybody know.
Yeah.
Boy, that's another nice fish.
Yeah, we're actually pretty good in here today. This good eater. Gonna cover his eyes up. It's pretty cool here today.
Oh,
It's lively.
you know, you were telling me about how you guys have, your enhancement group has helped improve the fishing here. I gotta get this guy
Yeah,
back
get him
in.
back in there. Yeah,
It must have quite a economic benefit here, especially you being a tackle store owner in the area.
yes, it does, Bob. A couple of years, well, actually about 3-4 years ago, we didn't see what we see here now.
And not only do you have the walleye fishing here on Lake Dauphin, but there's so many other areas close by. I know Bill was telling me earlier, within a 25-mile radius you can fish for everything from muskie, walleye, and all kinds of different trout species.
Trout species, yes. In the Duck Mountains, we have the splake, the rainbow, lake trout. We have Arctic char up there, and that's only like a 40-minute drive from Dauphin. So you have both worlds here. You have the walleye, pike, perch, and you have the trout in the mountain. So the people come up here, they want to, say, fish for 2 days, stay overnight, come out here for walleye, next day they can go for trout.
Cold out here.
Hey, shadows are getting long, sun's going down, the walleye fishing has been good. Guys are still fishing.
They're still catching some over here. I guess it'll go right till dark.
They'll go right till dark, they'll fish in the headlights a little bit. They all got to get their supper, they think.
Well, I'd sure like to thank you and the boys from Dauphin for putting on such a great time for us. Boy, I've had a great time, and we've caught a lot of fish.
And we appreciate you coming down. I mean, it shows like you guys going around that get our areas going, and it's been great for us. And we appreciate it. We're going to get you back for some more summer walleye fishing. You'll like that.
Well, you've got a great fishery here, and you've looked after it real well. Again, I'd like to thank you.
Great, appreciate it.
Until next time, I'm gone fishing.